I think we're. Oh my goodness! Yeah, they're doing me dirty again. Wait. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, we're live, but my ex account's acting crazy. What's up, everybody, man? Welcome back. We're over here on a pregame show. We got a special guest this time. It's not just me, which I'm happy about. Because doing these pregame shows by myself, King, you get like an hour and a half into it, you're like, ah, dang. This is all I think. I think from the viewer perspective, like, bro, they're probably tired of hearing my thoughts. Like, I mean, I get it. I kind of say the same things. So it's like, they're probably, all right, can we just mix this up a little bit? So glad to have everything King in here, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I just ready to get to game time. That's all.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. We're gonna start with today with some of the players that were elevated today. Like that got me pretty excited just to see the names. I want to talk about that with you a little bit, but before we get to that, as always, man, you can see it on the top. Shout out to BetUS. That's our sponsor for today's live stream. 150% deposit on your first deposit up to $2,000 using now promo code YouTube150. I got that in the description as well as links to Everything King's YouTube channel is also in there as well. So if you want to check that out, go over there. We are going to start with something with BetUS. I don't know that King's done many of these, but I love. And actually, King, hey, you're not alone on this. I'm gonna be honest. I messaged the guy yesterday because I was like, "Yo, I can't find it." Like, I thought I was a pro at this. We're 4 weeks in. I couldn't figure out how to place a player prop bet. I found it yesterday. I was so excited. I was so excited. I wasn't even home. Like, I'm making a video. So now we're gonna do it again with King. We're gonna build out a little parlay here of player prop bet. So I'll throw that on the screen. Oh yeah, we're popping over here. Let's not point that out. Yeah, King. So I'll start off. You can tell me wherever you want to go with this. If there's anything that stands out, interceptions, pass completion, and this is for both sides, touchdowns. You got your receiving yards, kind of like fantasy, I guess. Sacks. Yeah. There's an interception one too. So you kind of think through that. I'm gonna get this thing started though first. Kind of change it up from what I did yesterday. First one that I want to throw in here is David Montgomery over 13.5 carries. Man, they're expecting this to happen, but I'm gonna throw it in. Okay, we're not getting like a big payout on this one, but I think that's a good one. All right? I feel like Dave Montgomery could be a workhorse in this game, so that'll be my first addition to it. Do you have something that catches your eye?
Probably passing TDs.
Okay, passing TDs. Oof.
Ooh-wee.
Feeling good about that? Yeah, you thought that was gonna be one, huh? Maybe not anymore, huh?
Man,
you still feel good about it.
Let's go with Jared Goff, and let's go with under.
Wow, that is pretty disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Here's why. Because
okay,
like I said, the Lions in the red zone they just haven't got it. You know what I'm saying? And I think our running back room is going to be a big part of how we get into the end zone today. So that's why.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a little disappointing for that to be the first prop bet that we have is under 1.5 touchdowns. I thought for sure he was going over. If that was at 0.5, would you have went over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have.
All right, so there's that. There's that. Let's go one more each in here. I'll go to sacks. I used Derek Barnes yesterday. But my man's back. I'm rocking the shirt today, so I got to do it. Over 0.5 sacks. Let me get Marcus Davenport to cook in there.
Yeah,
okay.
That's good.
I mean, yeah, but now he'll have the tougher matchup, I assume. And when we get to these inactives, we're probably not going to see Calvin Beachum playing. So it looks like they're going to have their third string tackle. They just brought somebody up again. So that could be beautiful for Hutchinson. He's expected to get a sack. But Marcus Davenport, man, he cooked in week 1. If the attention goes to Hutchinson, I mean, look, if Davenport gets enough one-on-ones at some point, I think he's going to come through. And plus, you can just get sacks on Kyler by not winning, but just staying in the play. He just starts running around. He just stay in the play. So I'll give Marcus Davenport 1 there, plus 250. All right, you got one more for us? Let's scroll through here.
Charles D in the comment section, man, he just made a great point. Kyler Murray is definitely probably going to throw us a bone, man, as far as an interception.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
So do you like a player interception or do you like Kyler Murray throwing an interception? Player ones are always tough, but
give me Brian Branch.
Go. Okay. That feels like the safest one. I mean, Kirby's
yeah.
Brian Branch is the safest one. I like that.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay, why?
Simply, man, he's a ball hawk. He's a ball hawk. There's nothing else to really say about it. I mean, Kirby Joseph, I don't know how healthy he is. Even though he's active, I don't know how healthy he is. So Yeah, I would rather go with Brian Branch. That's a safer pick for me.
And I like it. All right. Well, that's our 4. I want to see what this is. Oh my goodness. Hey, plus
Jeez.
10,600. Hold up. What's the 5-piece do? Dang. We bet $5 $500. Hey, yo, I kind of like this one. This one's disappointing. I'm not gonna lie, man. This one's holding me back, But the rest, I like the rest of them. All right, let's do it. Let's go the 5-piece there. Boom. If you guys want to get on this again, use YouTube 150. You can get the 150% deposit match on your first deposit, 125% for your next 2. This thing is gonna place. We'll see. I don't know. It's gonna take the loading symbol here, but yeah. Hey, shout out to King for that. King, that was your first one doing like that.
First one.
Look at that. We're gonna hit this one. Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, we'll let that dude sting in the background. I don't need to. Okay, now it just got submitted. There you go. Just show some proof. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Now let's talk a little Lions. We'll go to I want to go to like the players that were elevated for this game. And first off, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. We see y'all. Players that were elevated. So the big ones for the Lions, and I'll throw the injuries on the screen too. We'll get the inactives later. Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson are both up for this game. I was fired up when I saw this, specifically seeing the Allen Robinson one. I kind of expected Tim Patrick, and it sounds like Isaiah Williams could be available today. Like if they wanted to go that route. Tom Kennedy, of course, is always available, so you have that option. But Tim Patrick was so involved week 1, like it didn't just feel like a body. It was like, oh, there's a role here for this guy. And even though he didn't come through every time, there was a role he fit. But then now bringing up Allen Robinson. First off, I love him for this game specifically because I think their corners are one of the biggest weaknesses on defense. But Allen Robinson, man, I think he can still cook a little bit. So are you as excited as I am about those two coming up? And what do you expect? Do you expect either of those guys to have an impact today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime that you can bring up 2 veteran big bodies like that, man, in this situation going against the Cardinals, like you said, the corner back room is just not the greatest right now. I think we're going to feed, man. I think Laporta is also going to be a little bit more implemented into this offense today. I'm expecting a lot of passing. I expect the Cardinals to do a lot of blitzing. That's just what they do, So there's going to be opportunities there for Jared Goff if you can get that ball out quickly and hit those receivers, man.
Yeah, I like that point because that's one of the early things that you notice is all like and I'll have it when we get to the keys, but it's all like that front 7 movement, linebackers, and they're so we talked to the Arizona Cardinals guy, and like the first thing that he brought up, and we didn't even ask him about it, he just brought it up, was like how much they rotate, how many different players they get in. Now they have Julian Okwara over there, which, hey, we may see a little Julian today. But we know with Julian, I can remember like it was, oh, this dude, he's doing some work in coverage for us. He's like expanding his game. And when you think about that, you look at what they have with Zaven Collins, Gardeck, like these guys are going to drop. They'll bring some linebackers. You don't know who's coming over the middle. That's the reason I like Iffy as well for this game. It's like that's the spot where you can attack this team because you don't know who's coming necessarily, but you also don't know who's actually going to be able to get depth in the middle of the field. So it opens up kind of those passing lanes. In terms of the injuries here, though, King, it looks like a lot of good. Davenport's back, though. That's the big one for me. But the biggest question is Alex Anzalone. I mean, does anything, concern you when you look at this list? Because I think outside of Alex Anzalone, it sounds like everybody else is probably going to play today. Glasgow, Terrion. Actually, before we go to that, because it's just hit my head, Terrion Arnold. Enos is not going to go, so we don't have the backup there, but Vildor can step in. But Terrion Arnold, first 2 weeks, couple DPIs, okay? Where are you at with Terrion through the first 2 weeks?
It looks like a rookie, man. Like I said, we're going up against some tough teams. These are NFC contenders that we're going up against, and when you're a rookie and you put in the spotlight like that, I mean, everything's not going to be crystal clear and perfect, so he's going to make some mistakes. He's going to get some silly penalties. It's a learning curve, but for me, he's been pretty good. So he's very sticky. And I just like what I've been seeing from Terrion Arnold. And then when you look at this injury list, I mean, we got enough depth in these positions to be just fine today. Anzalone is the question mark. I think he's going to play just knowing who Anzalone is. Yeah, I think we'll be fine, man.
Okay. Yeah, I like what you said about okay, we hold up. Oh my goodness, we just gave the game away. The thing with Terrion Arnold is like when you see the grades or whatever, like the issue is like, okay, the defense pass interference are really going to kill him on the grades. But even when you watch him, there's still things that you like. Like even that first defense pass interference, I didn't hate the play. It was just the fact that he got called for defense, which wasn't as bad as what was happening on the flip side. But I still was like, okay, this is still okay. What about Carlton Davis though? Because Carlton Davis, that was the guy, you expected something there. Same thing with Amik. I think Amik just hasn't been targeted much at all. Carlton Davis has, I think he's lived up to the expectation. I don't think he's been above and beyond. But for me, Carlton Davis, I feel like he's been a calming presence. And today he's going to be involved a ton, I expect. Where are you at with Carlton through 2?
I love Carlton. I love Carlton Davis, man. Like I said, just him being a veteran corner coming in here, new team, new defense. He's still fitting in just fine, man. Like he's worth the money. But you brought up Amik Robinson, man, and for the limited time that he's been in, he's been very impressive. He always plays with that chip on his shoulder. He always lets you know, like, hey, I'm here. But for the opportunities that he's hit the field, man, I've been very impressed with him too.
Yeah, it's so weird because, like, I think statistically he's got 5 targets on the season. He's like, through 2 weeks, you haven't noticed him at all. You actually have to go look for him when you watch the replay to see what he's actually doing because he just doesn't get targeted at all. And then in the run game, I feel like he hasn't really popped there either. Not to say he's been bad. I don't know. He just hasn't really been involved in anything that you watch when you're watching during the broadcast. So it's strange, but I guess that's a good thing. I think with corner, that's what you'd rather have. The final thing, just because I've said his name 4 times now, Marcus Davenport's playing. And I know the pressure rates came out 5th in the NFL after the first week. Now, that was a messed up offense line. It's even worse now for the Rams. But Marcus Davenport through a week, because here's how I look at it. A lot of the rookies, like you said, they're rookies. Terrion, it's taking some time. It's probably going to take a minute. But when I look at all the veterans, Carlton, DJ Reader, those 4, there's really like 4, that are kind of heavily in the mix right now. Amik Robertson, I feel like all of them have at least played at a adequate level where it's like, okay, I'm getting what I've expected here. Maybe it's not way over the top, but it's also not disappointing through 2 weeks. So with DJ Reader, we always saw him 1 week, super impactful against the run as soon as he's out there. And it was good because he's just coming back from the injury. So where are you at with Marcus Davenport and DJ Reader on the defensive line? Because really through 2 weeks, as messed up as the opponents have been, it looks like this could be a top 5 defensive line in football this year. Hudgens is on his way to Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Davenport he's Davenport, man. He's everything that we knew he was coming over here. And availability is his biggest thing. We know when he's on the field, he's going to be a monster. He's going to use those long arms, man, and that athleticism and that power, and he's going to be disruptive in that backfield. So that's what we've been getting from Davenport. You expect a lot of these little quad injuries and things like that, the cramping that you've seen with Amon-Ra St. Brown last game, because these guys didn't get a chance to play in the preseason as much. But for what it's worth, Davenport's been great. DJ Reader noticed the impact right away. So, like I said, we got a real legit chance to be a force on that defensive line this year. And we have some guys that can rotate in and contribute. I know there's been a lot of questions about Levi Onwuzurike, man, but he's been playing. Yeah, he's been playing solid, man. And he's been as advertised. So, like I said, I think we got a chance to be pretty special this year.
Yeah, it is wild, because I kind of did forget about. I always do, but look, man, Levi is like, he's kind of like, he just fits now. It's no longer like just getting him on the field and seeing if he does something. Like, remember Levi doing that one thing? Like, he's actually just impactful consistently when he's out there. And again, we'll have to see how that goes through the season. But like, when you think about throwing him in, and we haven't talked about Pascal. I mean, Pascal's, his upside is kind of is what it is. But Pascal's real solid when he's out there. He still plays the run really well. So the depth is actually crazy this year. It really, it's pretty nuts when you think about what we have, because then you got Kyle Pecco mixing in, and it's mainly the depth is now like your guys that you invested in. Those are your draft picks, it feels like. So it's pretty wild. The defensive line is definitely set up. This side with the Arizona Cardinals, the Calvin Beachum one is, I think, the only real big one here. I mean, if Stills doesn't play, it's fine. He's back up. Dortch could be something, but the Calvin Beachum one's the big one, because we could be seeing Aiden Hutchinson. They elevated 2 offensive linemen today, Charlie Heck and Jackson Barton. Could be going against the third-string offensive tackle. I assume he is if they elevate 2 offensive linemen that he's not playing. So, they're going to throw a lot of help over there, but Aiden Hutchinson's been, like, above and beyond everybody else at this point. Like, I know he's facing backups, but it's also he's dominating these dudes. So not having Beachum in this game, do you think that's like a massive swing, or do you think it would have been similar if Beachum played?
It would have been similar if he played. The Lions' biggest, thing that they need to focus on today is make sure that they contain Kyler Murray. They're going to get in the backfield. You have to contain him and make sure he doesn't slip out, man, and tear you up in yardage running that football. That's the only thing that they need to be concerned with is containment. So we've seen that with Baker Mayfield, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think Davenport and Hutchinson have a day-to-day. Is just within that day, we got to watch Kyler Murray. Aaron Glenn said that he's not a fan of the scouting quarterback strategy. Your guys got to make sure that they do their job, man, and keep that guy under control.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see how that goes because you just said it, man. Like the Tampa Bay game, the one possession that they had was where I think it was the one where Baker had the draw that he ran and scored a touchdown on. Like that possession had nothing going for it outside of Baker 2 times. Just like the play's still going on. It shouldn't be happening. And then somebody breaks open late on the play. So I like what you said there because it's very true. Like it's not just about winning in this game. It's about holding that guy in the pocket. I think maybe the biggest impact that we'll see potentially not having him is more so the run game because of that reason. Like I always feel like the Arizona favors the left side. It's like they want to get behind Paris and our guy Evan Brown. Seems like they favored running that side regardless, which is where Davenport will probably be in the mix a ton. Again, I love that on paper. But the flip side is against the run, maybe that's where Hutchinson finds the biggest, brings the biggest value for a game like this, just because of so much of their rushing game is all outside. So it's like he's going to be directly thrown into the mix, and then also their tight end usage as well. So I'll move on from this. Is there anything else you want to hit on with this, or do you want to move forward?
Let's move forward. I think we hit everything.
All right, no, we're going to stay here. So let's continue with this. When you look... All right, let's move forward. Okay, I put my keys to the game. I got a lot going on here, but I want to hear your keys to the game because I've already talked about a lot of these. So what's one key for the game that's not just containing Kyler Murray? I'm not putting you on the spot with this one, but you already put out Kyler Murray. So you have another key for this game: offense, defense, special teams.
Defense. Keep an eye on Marvin Harrison Jr. Gaining confidence. I don't want him to be confident against us. Making sure that he don't squeak loose and kill us with long balls and get in that end zone. We got to keep an eye on Marvin Harrison Jr. and, make the focus Kyler Murray.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, dude, the amount of times that they went to Marvin last week was unreal. And, first off, you just see the score, you're like, oh, shoot, this team's, like, really legit. But I walked away like they're force-feeding this guy the football. And he is truly like they believe their best receiver, like hands down, because whenever he was one-on-one, it's like, go to that guy. There is no like, well, he's kind of developing into that role. Like, he's immediately their number one. I know he didn't have much production week 1, but week 2, he was the guy. So I'm with you on that one. I like that you brought up Marvin because I think he's going to see a lot of Carlton today. I assume that they're just going to throw him over there. They're going to let him deal with Marvin Harrison. So that matchup's going to be awesome. He's going to go to him a ton in this one, especially if they're allowing them to play one-on-one. My key to the game is containing Kyler Murray. We haven't talked about this yet, King. Containing Kyler Murray is the key, man. No, he's like, okay. Hey, no. Let's move on to a different key. No, the key that I'll have for this one is number 2, which is make Kyler work the middle of the field, man. And I think this goes into what you just said. I look at it as I want Kyler throwing the ball between the numbers. I want him throwing the ball into traffic. Someone asked about Jack Campbell starting. On paper, this is a great opportunity for Jack Campbell just to be annoying for Kyler. Like not chasing him down, but just like he's in the way. Like, bro, this 6'5" guy is just standing over the middle of the field. I can't see the guy. And it's true because like you can see plays where Kyler Murray just can't really see his guy and he just throws it over his head. But everything outside, Kyler Murray's super talented with his arm. We know he's comfortable throwing on the run. And now that he has Marvin Harrison and they have Michael Wilson opposite too, who's a big body, they trust those guys one-on-one. So if I'm coming into this game saying, look, everything needs got to be forced inside. I can't make it simple, allow them to just see a one-on-one and throw it over there and allow their guys to just work on our guys. Like I want him having to make into traffic throws, and especially when you get back to the interception that you had with Brian Branch. If that's going to happen, it's going to be because, to me, he's throwing over the middle of the field. He's forced throwing to traffic, and then, of course, if we're getting any kind of push, sometimes he can't see. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes it's not like he can't see, and he might just throw it up. So that's, I think, the best case scenario for the Lions is trying to make everything work the middle of the field. I think a lot of times you think the opposite way, take away the middle. I think against Kyler, it's the flip side. Make it work the middle. Plus, on top of that, if you're squeezing the receivers inside and they're all having to work that way, and that's where you're making their offense work, Kyler Murray then taking off outside minimizes the threats towards the outside, because then everything's back in the middle. So that's how I'm looking at for this one. Does that make sense? Because I say that. Okay. Making sure.
Makes perfect sense because it's the reason why I chose Brian Branch. Kyler Murray, he's a guy that's gonna, like I said, he's gonna throw you a bone, man. He's going to scramble and throw a crazy pass, and it's gonna give you opportunity. And with us having ball hawks like we do, I think we're gonna get a few cookies from Kyler Murray today. And Brian Branch is definitely a big time guy in that situation. With him being, with him being back now and having the ability to free roam and be the ball hog that he is, I think we're going to have a pretty good day against him.
All right, we're in agreement there. Is Anzalone playing? I don't know yet. I think he's the biggest question because I don't think they have a lot of control on this one. It's just where he's at through the protocol. So I don't know if he's going to play. That'll be the one to watch for in actives because that is a big one. I mean, we didn't really hit on this one, but King, I'll ask you quickly. So if Alex can't play, I expect that they're going to want to keep Barnes on the line of scrimmage. Like they won't be like, hey, go take Alex's spot because I think Barnes is going to be thrown so much into the mix this week. If there's any design runs, Barnes will have to be there. I always go back to the last time we played him. Charles Harris was so key in that game. In this game, do you think Malcolm Rodriguez would just be the next guy up? And are you confident if it is Malcolm? Because we've seen him a lot early in the year. That's the positive. It's not like he's just coming off the bench. He's played a lot early. He's played on pass downs for us. And his skill set makes a lot of sense for a team that wants to get wide and run. Are you confident if Malcolm has to step in this one for Alex? And do you think that's how they would do it?
Probably so. I'm confident with Malcolm. If you give Malcolm an opportunity, he's going to take the best opportunity and make the most of it. So, if that's the route that we go, I think we'll be just fine. Burns is, another thing. Like I said, Anzalone does a lot. You know what I'm saying? He gets a lot of tackles for us. So these guys, they're going to have to be sharp, man, and they're going to have to be ready. We cannot allow, things to go south in the middle of that field. We got to be able to control this game. So, yeah, I think if they go that route, we'll be fine.
So I just thought of this. Here's what I'm thinking because I'm thinking about Malcolm. I'm like, all right, why should we be potentially optimistic that he'll be fine there? San Francisco, right? He had to step in against San Fran. He had to kind of play a huge, and again, it's like there's a lot of similarities. It feels like because they do everything horizontal. He actually had an interception, if I remember right, in that game. So we've seen it before, and like I said, I just feel like the fact that Malcolm's already getting snaps gives me a lot more confidence because it wouldn't be just he's thrown out there and he has to play this role or we're going to someone else. But I would assume Malcolm will be the next guy up. I flip it to the offense here. My first key, we kind of already touched on this, is just attacking their outside corners. Okay, first off, they have a rotation on one side, which already I love that. Starling Thomas, shout out to Starling, and Garrett Williams. And then on the flip side, they got Sean Murphy-Bunting. And I don't know about you, King, but I'm watching this like, Sean Murphy-Bunting's getting cooked this year. This guy he doesn't look good in coverage. And I got respect for Bunting just from what he's did in the past. They add him, like, all right, that's a nice piece, but it looks rough this year. And I just feel like this might be one of the best matchups that you get on paper this season. That doesn't mean you're going to just expose it because they won't put them in spots to just be exposed. But I think for both of us, the reason that we think Laporte is big, well, I think Allen Robinson and Patrick could be big because it's like, hey, outside the numbers, that's where they'll live. I love Allen Robinson, by the way, on a lot of like the speed out routes, those kind of things. Like the plays that Tim Patrick didn't get his feet down last week, that's where Allen Robinson will thrive. So I love both of them for this matchup, and I think that is on paper very possibly their biggest weakness. Their safeties are good, but their cornerbacks are shaky, and they allow a lot of things to happen in front of them. They play a lot of off coverage. You may not get behind them consistently. They have some good length, but I think you can work in front of those guys all day long. It just depends on what they're doing underneath. So for me, attacking these outside corners, I think is a great matchup for us. And do you look at the same way? Like, how do you feel about the corners that they have over there? I think it looks rough.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially what we have to offer on our side of the ball. It's going to be a long day for them. It's going to be a long day for them. As I said, this game is, I mean, when you look at it on paper, this game for the Detroit Lions is a very favorable game to me. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but when you look at what we have available on our offense, and if you look what we've been able to do on defense, compared to the way that this Cardinals roster is looking right now, it just makes perfect sense. I just think offensively, J-Mo's going to be as loose as a wild buck today.
I like that.
I really
like
do,
that.
man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a pretty big game from J-Mo today. So I'm looking forward to that.
And that makes a ton of sense. Like, unless they're giving in like extra attention to J-Mo, again, if he's playing out wide, it makes a ton of sense because these cornerbacks are already letting you kind of work in front of them already. You put a guy like J-Mo, they have to. So now it's just working back to the ball in those spots. So, and also for what you said there, I'm thinking back to their last game where they cooked LA, and you think about the matchup, and dude, every big play in that game was Kyler Murray taking off. Every single big play, it felt like, was Kyler Murray just extend the play. It wasn't a ton of like killing them on script, it didn't feel like. And even if it was still contested. They had to work for it. Every time things got off script, someone broke wide open. So that has to be number one. I think we both agree that's the number one key, is just like, what does that look like for me? To revisit it real quick, I put, a 5-man rush. I want to hear where you're at on this, because I put 5-man rush in this sense. Not necessarily that saying what I would do. I just know Aaron Glenn, he likes to blitz. It's just who he is. So if he's going to play man, which he likes to do, and a lot of times we talk about, when you're playing a quarterback to run, don't play a lot of man. I expect that he still will, because it's Aaron Glenn, and he doesn't play a spy, so he's not going to do that either. So I'm just like, he's probably going to bring 5 rushers to just try to clog every lane up front and just have an extra body going towards him and try to hurry him up. And also, a weird thing I noticed with Kyler too, he feels very is finicky a real word? That's my mind's telling me to say that. I don't know if that's a real word. He feels that. You know what I mean? Like, when he feels pressure, you feel it. Now, that doesn't mean it's always terrible for him, but man, he feels it quick, and he's like, all right, get rid of the football, do something with the ball. Right. So it's like, you bring a 5th, and as long as you kind of collapse it, that's where he'll do something dumb. That's where he might do something real dumb. So containing Kyler, I think, for both of us is number one. And for me, I'm just curious to see how they go about doing that. Do you think we could see a difference from Glenn? Do you think it could be more zone? Do you think we could see less blitzing? Do you think we'll see more blitzing? What would be your take on what you think Glenn's strategy might be as a whole to do that?
I just think he's going to go off of what, the Cardinals has given us. One thing that, we can't do is get caught looking back there, in our safety area. We cannot get caught looking at the quarterback. I've noticed that a couple of times last game, and it drove me crazy, man. Just keeping these guys in front of us, and put that pressure on Kyler Murray, and allow him to make those mistakes. That he's going to make mistakes. You just have to be ready and take advantage of it. So it's not really, it sounds easier than it actually is. Right. But containment, man. You brung up the Rams. They did exactly what I don't want us to do, which is they were in the backfield. They just wasn't containing this man. He was running. He was running around crazy, man, and throwing darts in the end zone. That's not what I want to see today. Let's keep these guys in front of us. Keep this guy in the box, and I think we'll be just fine.
And everybody's preview show when they play the Cardinals exactly the same thing. We got to contain Kyler Murray. Everybody thinks the same way. We're not breaking news here. But I like what you said, man. That was sneaky what you said there. You said, here's how I took that, because I looked at it like this. Like, not just focusing on the quarterback, staring at his eyes, because one thing that I noticed, especially in coverage, I thought last week was the defenders, especially in zone, which is weird because, they're watching the quarterback, so they would actually get them into trouble, is that they would start to peek at the quarterback, and as soon as I'm going to run left, they would start to drift that way, then someone would open opposite. And it was like, dude, you can't do that. You still got a responsibility. So it's like you have to have that, like, just discipline about you to be like, I'm not going to go chase the quarterback just because he starts moving around. Because Kyler still wants to throw the ball. He doesn't give me the guy that's like, hey, I want to get outside and run. He wants to get outside and then throw the football. And there was even a pass last week to McBride where it was like, oh, he could have ran that. And he tried to throw it and it was incomplete. That was only one of his few incompletions. I think actually that was week 1 against Buffalo. Take that back. But he wants to throw the football. So the way I took that as to what you're saying is, when he's moving around, you still have to stick with who you're covering because everybody opens up for him. He's got the arm talent to keep the entire field open. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely what I'm saying. Like I said, they just got to, you can't get caught looking at the quarterback. And I need my defensive lineman. A lot of hands up today, a lot of arms up. Make everything tall for Kyler Murray. Leave little, put little Mighty Mouse in the box back there. Don't let him see anything. Use that length and that height that we got on the defensive line and make it difficult for him, man. I don't care if you got to run around like this. I need hands up today. I don't need him to see anything down the field.
We about to have the most wild stretch. Hey, as soon as they snap it, hands up. Don't rush the quarterback. Just stand there. We got everybody just standing there like this. We'd be looking like a field goal block playing this team. That's crazy. Hey, I'm not even mad at it though. We definitely get on. We definitely get on against BN if that's the strategy, man. We just everybody just go like this. It could throw him off though. I'm not gonna lie. Like that could confuse him because he's like, wait a minute, what do I do? Now he's got to move around. Then we got him. We got it right where we want him. I actually like that strategy. We just came up with the game plan. Expect to see that today. Lions rushing nobody, putting their hands straight. If you don't see that, I don't know. Okay, everyone's doing it wrong. That okay. I like what we get on there. Just kind of wrap this segment up. Dominate 3-man front. This is the last one that I had, which was our run game. And I know the numbers. Really good run team through run defense through 2 weeks. Yards per carry, yards per game. I think a lot of that is LA. Well, they don't have an answer for anything. They just don't have anybody in the offensive line that can move anybody. When you look at that front, you don't love it, but you're like, okay, they got solid players here. Like they got dudes that could pop. You know, Justin Jones, we've seen him before a lot. Right. Nichols, we've seen him before, and my boy Roy Lopez. I love the name. That's their nose tackle. And then they rotate so much, but it's not like a scary, front line. And because they play so much that 3-4, and then, Zaven Collins, and they'll have Gardeck, who's awesome. I like those two guys. But I look at it as take those two guys out of the game, right? The matchup we should dominate is those three guys. It's Nichols, it's Jones, it's Roy Lopez, because they may get some plays, right? They should have some flash plays. They can get upfield. They can create, disruption. But in terms of like the long run, your matchup is you should be able to dominate those two guys, take the edges out of the game, move those guys off the ball, be versatile, schematically and how you want to go about it. But those three guys, as the game rolls along, you should win that matchup. And that's goes back to the bet of Dave Montgomery getting a lot of carries. Is I can see this as like, hey, we want to wear these guys down, because I look at it like this, King. The talks about the starters, right? That's usually what we look at as the starters on each side. But because they rotate so much, I want these drives to be 10 plays because I want them to start putting backups in, because as soon as they do that, now my matchup's even better. And now I trust, because the offense line doesn't rotate, now I trust us to just move these guys all day long. So that's how I'm looking at it. Dominate the front three. That's the matchup for you. And get up to these linebackers, because I don't think they're great either at dealing with blocks. What do you think about the run game in this one?
Yeah, we absolutely will. Like I said, they haven't faced nothing like us yet. So yeah,
true.
They got the work cut out. They definitely got the work cut out today, man. We're going to move those guys just fine. Let Montgomery get loose, but I expect Gibbs to be able to get in there and do some slicing and dicing today, make some big plays. So I hope he does, because he's in my fantasy. So I need him to.
King, you may have beat me week 1. Did you beat me week 1?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh.
I got.
Did you make a video? No, you cooked. You cooked. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, it's crazy. Side note, when I'm pretty terrible at fantasy, so when I was watching that, my team was doing work in the 1 o'clock window, so I'm opening it up like, oh, okay, we're on fire. It said like celebration. I was like, all right, what is that? So I clicked it, and it was like taunt your opponent. I was like, of course I'm going to do that. So I taunted King.
I seen it.
And come back like the next window of games, and he sends me like a screenshot of 4 guys scoring a touchdown. Like, this is crazy. This was unnecessary. All right, at first I thought this was, this is fun, and then he sends me that. But all right, I'm not taunting anybody again, because I got absolutely cooked. You get. Next game started, I'm getting cooked. I'm like, this is terrible. Was it Josh Allen went crazy?
Yeah, it was Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen, and don't feel bad, because I got cooked this week. This previous week, man. A lot of my guys injuries and stuff like that. It was just a disaster.
I had it coming though. No, I mean, look, I deserved it. That's one thing. Like that was humbling. That was a humbling experience, because I sent it over feeling good. I'm about to cook in fantasy this year. That. I'm like, okay, maybe not. I got to calm down on the taunting. So, I think that's my rule this year. Just don't taunt people. Let it kind of play itself out until I know, because that was a disaster. All right, this is the other topic that I wanted to get to with you here, because I think we all have different names. I put mine, and mine hasn't changed, so I've kind of just left the list as name. The only thing I added was the honorable mentions, which is players that we elevated. I want to see him, and also James Conner, just because Conner's like a dog, and he's been a dog for years. Actually, I didn't know how long he's been there. He's been there since at least 2021, because I went back to see last time he played. I'm like, oh, James Conner was still there. He's been great for them. He's been awesome. He kind of like brought back his career, but they've been such a good running team over the last few years, and they got a pretty sound offense line playing together. My players to watch are on the screen. I'll give you one, and then you can give the same name. You give someone different. But for me, I'm going to start with Arizona. It's Budda Baker. Like everybody's going to talk about him. I feel like, well, not everybody, but when the Arizona Cardinal guy came on, he was like, "Hey, Budda Baker's the name, but their other safety, Jalen Thompson, is really good." I'm like, I got you, but Budda Baker scares me, okay? Because we played Jordan Whitehead, and I watched this guy just go to work. It's like, okay, he's not missing any tackles. He's playing like a linebacker. This guy feels like he's blowing up everything. They're blitzing, and it's like shut down the run. That guy was annoying, and then when you go into this week, you're like, oh, shoot, they got the same guy. They literally have the same exact dude, just with a different name. Now we got to deal with him. So I look at Budda, and it's just like, he's the guy that could shake things up today. I hate to say it. Hopefully they just do less with him, maybe. I don't know. But Budda Baker worries me. He's the concern on defense. To me, he's like hands down their best player. What about you, Lions or Cardinals? What's the player to watch for you?
Sam Laporta. It's going to be Sam Laporta, man. I think this is finally time for him to get himself, going this game. We haven't really heard his name called too often, but today's the day. I think he's going to absolutely destroy them. So I just expect big games from him and J-Mo today. I really do. They got Budda Baker back there. I get it or whatever, but man, just looking at the way that defense is structured versus what we do on offense, I think Sam Laporta is going to have a pretty big day today.
What do you think opens up the red zone for it? Because I know, you had Goff under the 1.5 because of the red zone concerns. I'm with you on Laporta. I think if Laporta I think he gets a touchdown in this one. What do you think it is? What can they lean on to get the red zone offense better? Because 1 touchdown, 7 attempts last week is awful. What do you think they could lean on in this one?
I don't know what we're doing I just don't know what we're doing down there. When we get down there, it's like, why do we do this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, just be simple. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even when you activated Allen and Patrick, if you want to, toss a big body a pass to the corner, I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you Sam Laporta in the end zone. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Yep. And if they giving him too much attention, man. And another thing, I liked it when I saw two backfield with Montgomery and Gibbs. It's rare, but mix it up, man. Make them guess, make them think. Both of them can catch too. So I mean, there's too many options for us to be stagnant in the red zone. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Right. I don't know what we're doing when we're down there, but it's very predictable, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Last week was a mess, man. It's crazy because we've been really good in the red zone with Ben. And last week was just such a disaster everywhere. It was like whatever we did, it was a mess. Miss blocks. I mean, it was just all over the place. That's why I put Laporta 1 for me. Same reason I think for you. I think he's the guy that kind of simplifies it this week. It's like they have a good safety, but he'll be the guy that just gets the ball. And yeah, I'm with you. I think Allen Robinson or specifically Tim Patrick could be in for 1 today. Just again for size. I think that's something they could struggle with when they get down there. They got a lot of dudes that can run around at cornerback. But size-wise, I think being the third receiver, he's the guy that could actually get the best matchup. Another one for me that we haven't really talked about, Derek Barnes. I think Derek Barnes is a great one. I think Derek Barnes is a good one for a sack. Like when you're doing those prop bets, I think Barnes would be a great choice for that because, again, it's not like he has to win. Plus, he may see a lot of the third-string tackle too, but he just has to be there. Just contain, and if we bring a lot of 5-man rush, like he could just eventually get a sack on a play where it's like a boot, and he just chases him down, tracks him down, gets a sack. But I think Derek Barnes, because of how much he'll be in the mix today, and Barnes has been one of the best stories, I think, for the Lions, man. Like he's truly seemingly gotten better every year, and he's so comfortable in that role. Like he fits better than I think anybody else that we have in that role. I mean, playing the run, coverage now is looking really solid. Like he's just playing really smart in that position on the line. So for me, Barnes is going to be put into action a lot. And if they try doing any design runs, which I haven't seen as much of this year, he'll be the guy probably involved in that action too. I like Barnes. I think he's an underrated key piece for this one. Do you got another one?
Montgomery.
He doesn't. All right. Oh, go. Okay.
Just Montgomery.
Yeah.
Man, just get a man a ball. Let him, do what he does. Like I said, we threw a lot of passes last week. A lot of passes. Let Montgomery soften up that defense, man, so we can go into play action or we can, get some big plays down the field. Let him rock them to sleep. Give him the ball out the backfield. Let him do his thing.
I'm with you. I like how you worded that too. Completely agree there. Yeah, Reader should be good to go unless anything popped out. I don't think anything popped out. He should be good. No one has Alex Chat. It's really the only one. Terrion should be fine. Everybody else should be fine, I think. Unless you heard, did you hear anything different? Graham should be good to go. It's just waiting on Alex.
Yeah. I think you got it right.
Okay. So that's all we're waiting for here. These are, I'll go one more and then I'll get to the next thing. We touched on a lot of these guys, but Trey McBride, I feel like give some attention to these tight ends. First off, McBride's been awesome. Like he came on last year. Marvin's the guy, but Trey McBride, I would say, is definitely the number 2 for them. In the passing game, he's big. They'll just put it up one-on-one to him, and he just makes plays. But also, I think really the run game. Like I said, everything is wide for them, so Trey McBride will be utilized a ton there. And I always feel like it comes down to, in a weird way, how well does Sam Laporta block, right? Like Sam Laporta, how well does he do? If he misses blocks, our run game kind of shuts down at times. I think it's very similar for Arizona. He's going to be in the mix so much today, and with the talk about the tackles, Hutchinson's going to have to deal with tight ends, right? Davenport's going to have to deal with tight ends, or Barnes. How do they do there? Because if those guys are getting moved, their run game's going to open up outside. I think Trey McBride, they have 3 tight ends. They utilize 3 tight ends more than I think many teams do with Higgins and now, Tip Ryman. So really you could throw every tight end into this mix, but Trey McBride's the guy that's going to be out there consistently. I think he's a great name for this one. Trey McBride for the run game specifically, but also in the pass game. He's a matchup piece now for him. So I like McBride. Do you have one more for us, King, or are you good on yours?
I'm good.
Okay, he's good. All right, so we'll I'll go to the next thing, but let me send out a link real quick, just so I don't forget, and then we'll keep it moving. See what the chat's saying. Rush lane integrity all day. Rush 4, drop 7. I'm in church right now praying King don't ignore me. Dang. See, I'm glad I put that on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, so let me send this out. All right, next thing we're gonna go to is. And we'll see, King, you can stick around, like I said, as long as you want to. Next thing we'll go to is, we did keys. We did players to watch. Next thing I want to go to is hopefully Banks hopping in here. I'm going to send the link. I should have sent this to him, man, because now I can't find it. Hold up. This is how this goes, man. This is how it always goes, trying to find a link.
Here, let me see.
There we go. I got it. I'm just struggling. Oh, shoot. I sent him the wrong link, man. That's crazy. What's up?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Search your Twitter and like find something for Anzalone.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to get a little update there. Okay, I sent it to him. Yeah, so we may have Banks on here at some point. He said that he wanted to hop on today, so I'm going to send him a link. We'll see if we can get him on. We need that kind of energy after what last week was. Last week was such a mess. We need that kind of energy here. Golf has also done really well in Arizona, like historically, so I'm pretty excited about that. This feels like it's not like much of a concern being in Arizona, so pretty excited about the home field kind of thing there. Sometimes it could be a little bit of an issue. Of course, it's indoors. I think it's indoor. Is it indoor? I don't even know if it's indoor, but it's hot, so we'll be good over there. Right. All right, the other thing with this passing attack, right, there's been some questions about it. St. Brown, though, got going a little bit last week. St. Brown's matchup in this one, I think, could be real interesting because, like I said, they rotate so much at corner. Like Max Melton will get in there a little bit. You think Jamison Williams is going to have the big day. That makes a ton of sense for me just because of how they match up defensively. Is St. Brown back officially, King? Like, because there's people that were concerned after week 1, and then week 2, he had one drive, he took it over. He had like 4 receptions on one drive. Still left some things out there, but he ended up with like 10 receptions, 100-something yards. Is Amon-Ra St. Brown back? Is he good going forward?
Yeah, he's definitely back. We just gotta, watch him as far as conditioning goes right now. I was watching him in his brother's podcast, and he was talking about how he was cramping and stuff and on the sideline, and it was condition based. A lot of people thought it was an injury because of the hit, but him and Penei Sewell, they was having a little struggles going on as far as conditioning. So I think he'll be fine this week. There's no way that you're going to be able to contain a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown with his work ethic. He's going to get to himself, and that's where he is right now. So yeah, his dad would never let him live that down. Mm-hmm. He's back. He's definitely back, and I think he's going to be a big part of the offense.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There was like a lot of there's just a lot of noise after week because it was weird. I don't think anybody knew what was going on, but I'm with you. Like last week was like, okay, he's still that dude. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be huge. Penei Sewell to me has popped a lot so far this season, just because like there's been some ugly. But my goodness, bro, it's like when in doubt, we go behind Sewell, and he's just like picking guys up. I'm curious to see how that one goes in this one because, like I said, they got some athletes on the D line. But when things get simplified this week, I love the idea of like, hey, pull Graham Glasgow because we know he moves the best. Go behind Zettler and Sewell and just move whoever is sitting there at defensive end. Like I think that's such a simplified matchup for this one that we could lean on. What say you on that one?
Man, absolutely. Zettler has not been he's not been getting talked about enough, man. Especially in that run game. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
moving bodies. That's a perfect idea. I hope we see that today. Yeah, those two, man, like I said, running behind those, that's a pleasure for our running back room.
Yeah.
Zettler has been really solid. Really solid. I've seen his PFF grade, man. He's been definitely doing this thing. So I don't know, man. I just want to tell you what I just seen on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still up in the air for Anzalone.
Okay.
Nobody said anything. Um, but he traveled with the team and then everything, of course. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of shaky, man, because usually when they wait this long for somebody to give an update, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
usually that person's gonna be out. I don't want him to be out. I really want him to play. We need him. We need his tackling. But if he's not 100%, or if he feels like he can't contribute to what we do on defense, then yeah, just let him get healthy.
Do you have any? I think my take was different than a lot of people on this one, but with Ben Johnson, I know you kind of talked about in the red zone. Again, there's just been noise because it's weird. It's kind of like what St. Brown was like after week 1. It's just we expect something, we know what we've seen, and then all of a sudden the first 2 weeks there's just a lot. It's not as pretty as we know them to be. And like I said, red zone specifically. Any concerns on Ben? I don't. But any concerns on your end with Ben Johnson and anything there so far through the first 2 games?
No, not really. I just think it's been a lot of out of sync going on. I'm tired of repeating myself, but we didn't have preseason. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I just think they were just out of sync, man. I truly believe what Jared Goff was saying in his press conference, man. The guys just got to get it synced up, and they'll get it together. They'll definitely get it together. We just have too much talent for us to be that bad in the red zone situation. So I expect Ben Johnson, because he was pretty pissed last game. It was very visual if you kept your eyes on him on the sidelines. He was pissed last game, and just like
Yeah,
everybody else.
yeah, he was.
Um, I think he's definitely gonna be just fine.
Yeah, that might be an issue, King. Ben Johnson needs to be a little happier. Yeah, I mean, I see the same thing, man. This guy never has any joy. Maybe that's the issue. He's sucking all the joy out of everything, man. Hey, look, man, we got the expectations too high. Let's have some fun. All right, Ben. When something goes, what we can clap. You know what I'm saying, Ben? We can get a smile on our face. I think what he needs is potentially some chocolate milk. Nobody's sad when they're drinking chocolate milk. Let's just be honest. You know what I mean? Even if it's Yoo-hoo, whatever it is, I think that's something we got to stop
Maybe
having him drink the team water.
maybe he needs a Snickers, man. You knock yourself when you don't have
Hey.
a Snickers. You know?
This is
Maybe
true.
that's-
Snickers be fire. I haven't had Snickers in a minute, but you already know what time it. Everybody knows what time it is when you have a Snickers. My man Ed is sad, so he also needs a Snickers potentially here. Okay, I wanted to ask you the Ben thing because that one, it's just been weird through the first 2. But I think the positive that doesn't get flipped enough here is the defense, like we touched about, and specifically, Aaron Glenn has had. We've kind of brought the thing up where it's like, well, Aaron Glenn. Now he has the pieces. Like I've heard people say that. It's like, okay, there's no more excuses for Aaron Glenn. And I personally feel through the first 2 weeks it's been awesome because the run game has still been great, or the run defense has still been great. Last week was awesome against Tampa Bay. So we've had that to just lean on. We definitely have the personnel for that now. And then the defensive backs, as we hit on a little bit earlier, like the vets, been real solid. Terrian's going to take some time, but Brian Branch, the safety, has been a lot of fun too. We're getting the pieces there, but we're also seeing, I think this defense is, I mean, shoot, if we would have won last week, it would have been because of the defense. They just could have kept putting us back on the field. And on script, they seem to be really sound right now. This is going to be a huge test. Like, you go out there and you hold Arizona to 20 or under, that's by far the best that anybody's done with Arizona so far this season. So where are you at with Aaron Glenn now through 2 games? And where do you think this defense is going throughout the season?
I am extremely happy with the defense right now. I'm so happy that he has the pieces that it takes for him to be able to even run man. You know what I'm saying? It's something
Yes.
we heard Dan Campbell say it's something that he's been wanting to do since he was born. So but we have the option now. He didn't have options to do certain things. And he took a lot of flack for that. It was unfair flack at the time. Now
Right.
with the pieces, you're seeing the results of that. And I think we're definitely going to be a top 10 defense this season. But like I said, with his players available right now, it gives him an opportunity to really show how brilliant he is defensively. And got to give kudos to Brad Holmes too for bringing the right players. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the right players and putting them in the best position. Especially with drafting. We've drafted some studs, man, that's able to come in and contribute right away, and that's something that he just doesn't get enough credit for. So, like I said, Aaron Glenn has been great. The offense just has to catch up, and once we both get both sides rolling, we're going to be a pretty tough monster to try to stop, man.
King, I've said this like 8 times this week, so I know they're tired of hearing me say it, but I'm gonna say it again. I look at it like this. If the 2 weeks you could tell me, hey, the offense needs to get some things rolling versus the defense needs to get rolling, I would take the offense all day long because we have too many of the same players coming back. I know what to expect there. But defensively, man, to what you're saying, and here's what's cool about that too, is you bring in these cornerbacks, and it's not just that they're playing man, but they're all like press man corners. And they all fit perfectly because you ask yourself, like, oh, is that the best spot for him? Like, yeah, that is the best thing for him. And all of them fit. And now Branch at safety has been amazing to see how he's been able to just match up because now you're putting him on receivers, and it also feels like it's making Kirby Joseph fit into his role perfectly because we're not asking him to do that as much. He's just playing the middle of the field, and we know how much they like to do those cover one looks. So for me, the pieces have matched perfectly. Now, King, before we're going to move over. We're going to transition, and we're going to do some weekly picks. If you want to hop into this with us, let's do it. We have another guest on. Shout out to my man, Josh, from the No Buts About It podcast. Hey, the link is in the description again, man. We got a couple links in there. Are you muted? I want to make sure you sound good. Can you say something?
I appreciate that. Can you hear me?
There it is. I got you. You a little quiet, but I got you. Let me just turn your mic. Okay, I can't do that. Actually, I can't. Let me turn your mic up. Let me turn it up. There we go. Okay, now say something.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, I could turn it up on my end.
Just hold the mic close to that.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can hold this. We'll be all good.
Okay. Hey man, I appreciate you joining. Look, bro, this is new because over the last couple weeks, I would get on here and I would just pick the NFC North games and be like, here's what I expect to happen in this. But now we're gonna open it up. All right, we got a man that covers the NFL, and look, I was going through your channel. I see the People's Jones video did pretty good. Now, hey, in hindsight, it is what it is. You know what I mean? He's not here anymore. Well, he is here, but he's on the practice squad. Okay, I don't think we predicted that, but the video did pretty well, and that's good. Can you tell the people real quick what your channel is about, though? Just to kind of give them a rundown of what to expect when they click that link.
Yeah, I got you. So when we cover everything in the NFL, we try to cover all the major storylines, but what we really focus on, just because I'm a Bengals fan and a Colts fan, so I've got both on today because the Bengals don't play today. But we cover them, but then cover the Bengals, Steelers, and then some Jets, Ravens. We cover a little bit of everything, like I said. But lately, it's just been a lot of me yelling at the Colts and the Bengals because they have not been playing well. So right now, if you go over there and you click on the channel, you're going to see a lot of rants about the Colts and the Bengals not running the ball. So that's what you could expect over there. But I encourage everyone to go check it out. We're also doing something called Piper's Picks, where I have my dog pick the winners of some of the games each week. And I tell you what, she has gotten quite a few of them right. She's a little too accurate. She picked the Falcons to win over that Eagles game, which I don't think anyone did. So hop on over there, check it out. We're close to 400 subscribers, so I appreciate anything we can get.
No, that's amazing. I was hoping we get the dog on today. I'm not gonna lie, but you're here, so that's cool. We'll make it work. Let's let's go to these picks, man, because we have. What we're gonna do, and hey, we're gonna give another shout out. Shout out to BetUS, our sponsor for this season. YouTube 150 is the code. 150% deposit match, first deposit up to $2,000. 125% on your next two. I got that down. It sounds cool to say it, just being honest, but we're gonna use this, and we got King in here too, so this is perfect. We're gonna go against the spread. All right, that's what I've been trying to do. You know what I mean? I have to step in my game a little bit. I gotta grow up a little bit, okay? All right, at this point, we gotta start using the spread. So we're going against the spread, and we're gonna roll through these picks. We're gonna see what side we're on, and because you cover so much of the NFL, I thought this would be perfect to get you involved with all these teams rather than just getting my take on it. I'll get things started though, because we got the Chargers +3 against the Steelers on the road. This feels like one of the best games, and it being a 3-point spread feels like a straight up just pick whoever you think's better in this one. I personally like the Chargers, though all the questions are about Herbert. He's a game time decision. I'm going Chargers in this one because I'm getting some points. King, where are you at with this?
I'm going Steelers.
Oh my goodness. All right, King. Okay, we'll move on.
He didn't even give a reason. He's just taking them. I love it.
Dad, what do you got, man? What do you think?
You call me, did you just call me Dad?
No, I called you Josh. All right, we're gonna get
Oh.
Josh out of the show. We'll go back to King. King, what do you got?
No, I was like, okay, a little weird, but nah.
Will that be the nickname?
I hate to say it. I'm a Bengals fan, but with Herbert being a game time decision, they're talking about maybe even activating 3 quarterbacks today because they're so unsure about Herbert. And Easton Stick and Taylor Heineke just don't wow me. And Justin Fields has been on a tear as the Steelers quarterback, so I got to take him. I know you get those 3 points with the Chargers, but I think the Steelers take it. That Steelers defense alone will handle it. The Chargers aren't ready. They aren't ready for that Steelers defense.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say this. I'm going for the Steelers for the same exact reason, but I'm a Fields fan just to make the Bears fans mad, just because your organization is incompetent and they didn't realize they needed offensive line. That's why.
Harbaugh and Greg Roman have both come out this week and said, we are planning on having a big run game, which tells me they are not confident in their quarterbacks. They aren't confident in their passing game. And you're going against the Steelers. I think Cam Hayward's going to have a great game if he already knows you're going to be trying to run the ball against him. So
okay, but watch this. Let me flip it around. Even with the starters, I'm not confident in the Steelers passing game. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Like I feel that I can feel that both ways. Even if they don't have Herbert, I think this could be a win. But all right, I like this one. This is good. We got a little back and forth there, and this is one of the, I think the best match. It's could be an ugly football game though. This really could be like 12-10. Bears Colts. Let's get to a Division 1. The Colts have been a mess, as you said, Josh. And last week was just a disaster. Like if the Packers, I thought we're for sure going to lose that one. I was like, oh, this is safe. Packers about to get smoked. They play like a high school team. They ran the ball like every play. Malik Willis did like nothing in the past. It was just throw some screens. He did a couple little things here. But the fact that they lost that game and the way that they played offensively, it just hurt my stomach a little bit because I thought the Colts would be good too. I picked them to win division. So this week, it's like you got to get this one. I look at it like that. You got to get this one. I guess we can expect some up and downs. The Bears are tough because they're so consistent. Like I always feel like I know what I'm going to get with the Bears. Their offense is going to be terrible. As King said, their offensive line stinks. But I know what I'm going to get defensively. The Colts, I don't know what I'm going to get at this point. I'm going to roll the Colts one more week here just because at some point they have to win. If not, if they lose again this week, I'm just going to stop picking them. I'm going to go Colts still this one, -1. I'll still take them -1 because, again, it's basically a pick 'em here. What do you got, King?
It's tough for me, man, because of that Bears defense. They've been, absolutely amazing. Amazing. They've been winning them football games. But eventually the luck has got to run out somewhere. And I hope it's this week because I can't stand the Bears. I'm going in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've been yelling at the Colts a lot on my channel. After that Houston game, I think they allowed Jonathan Taylor 13 touches. They raised that up to like 16 against the Packers. Hopefully, at some point they listened and they decided to run the ball, and they're going to take control, time of possession against these Bears. I'm going to give them one more chance, kind of like what you said, Dion. I'm going to take the Colts. I think Zaire Franklin finally figures it out. Hopefully, those Colts wide receivers figured out, except for Alec Pierce, which I did not think at this point in the season we would be saying Alec Pierce is the Colts' like most consistent wide receiver. But that's where we're at right now, in my opinion. So Colts over Bears, get some pressure on Caleb Williams and confuse the young rookie.
Yeah, I feel like the linebacker room's been kind of a mess too on that defense. And it's like we talk so much about the front seven and we're like hype. We're like, oh, they got some dudes. Now Buckner's not playing, I think. Now he's on IR. But the linebacker's been messy too. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm with King on this one. Hopefully they win. Someone brought up Glover Quinn. We may have Glover. Hopefully we're gonna get Glover Quinn again on soon. Okay. I won't go into why, but that sounds like that may happen again soon. Okay. Keeping it, I gotta pick up the speed. That's on me. Houston against Minnesota here. Again, man, a lot of these spreads are real tight. This is a tough week. I think this one is a complete overreaction. Okay, I think the Vikings, they played San Francisco well. I think they match up well with that team. I think that I can understand why we think this would be a close game, but the Texans to me are just a better football team. Okay, the Vikings have done some work, but they're the better football team. Let's stop playing with this one. I don't care that they're on the road. I'm taking the Texans -1. King, sounds like you think the same way.
Totally agree. Some teams just have other teams' number for some reason. Well, it's not going to happen this week. I'm definitely going Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Houston as well. Justin Jefferson is playing injured. He's still playing, but he's beat up. Jordan Addison's
Right.
out. I think Texans much better football team. I'm going with them.
Boom. All right. Giants, Browns. Their first kind of big spread here, but my goodness, I don't feel confident in the Browns at all. First off, it's just Deshaun Watson. We were talking about Dak Prescott, and there's all these quarterbacks that have questions with their contracts. This guy's already gotten paid, so that's why he doesn't get the discussion. But this guy has looked just terrible, just straight up. Like, he's looked terrible. I think last week was a tad better, maybe. They got out going a little bit early in that one. But again, now the Jaguars, like, what's going on over there? I still like their defense, and I like them at home. I don't trust the Giants at all. So I'm going to roll with this -6.5, take them to win by a touchdown. Don't feel good about it, but I'm going to do it. I'll take the Browns.
Yeah, I expect another week of improvement from Cleveland. So, yeah, I'm going Cleveland.
I hate this. I hate this game. I wish this game didn't exist. I hate both these teams. I think there's going to be a lot of field goals. So I guess I'll go with the Browns and their defense to win it, but I don't expect to enjoy this game at all.
With the 6.5, though, are you confident in the Browns still? -6.5?
I'm not confident that the Giants can get a touchdown.
No.
So I think if the Browns could manage to even get one touchdown, they've got it handled.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you there. And they could get one on defense, though. And I will see if Garrett plays. That's going to be the question because people are worried about the O-line, D-line. I just like the DBs. I like the DBs for Cleveland still. Okay, Philly Saints. Again, now I'm going to go on my own here. Look, I don't think it's a fluke. New Orleans is a good football team. Their offense has it finally. Carr, we thought this I didn't think it would look like this, but I think this is what people thought maybe it'd look closer to when they picked him up. Now, he's gotten out to hot starts before, so this isn't new. That being said, though, Rashid Shaheed is like a legitimate weapon on this offense in all facets now. The run game is cooking. Elvin Kamara's been doing work. So the offenses look great, and I still love the defensive backs. They have shot to Will Harris. Hey, everything King's with me on that one. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Will Harris starting over there. Look, man, I'm taking though Philly. I like Philly. The fact that they're getting points, I think Philly wins this game outright. I think Philly kind of settles down some of the New Orleans Saints hype. And the concern is, can they stop the run? I don't know. We're about to find out. But I'm going to go Philly in this one. What do you got, King?
I'm going Philly too. Even though those games the Saints won, I was just watching Carr. Man, Carr's throwing a lot of reckless passes out there that just squeaked by. I think that's going to run out today. I think the Eagles win.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think the Eagles win as well. I think they sat down after losing that Falcons game at the last second, and they're gonna be more in control. They're gonna take some time, make some better decisions, ball control stuff, and they're gonna come away with this win and New Orleans' streak.
Hey, chat, when we're doing these picks, man, feel free to throw your picks in too. We want to see where you guys are at. I'm keeping track of these in the background. That way next week when I have the best record, we can talk about that. If I don't have the best record, we're going to throw those away. Just making that, just throwing that out there. We'll just forget where they're at. Broncos, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has been really good to this point. Broncos have been a disaster as well. I think 6 points isn't enough here. I mean, I feel like maybe I should take the underdog to keep one of these close. I just don't think it's enough. I don't know how they go to work again. If anything, he may have a lot of completions, but that's kind of all it's been for Denver's offense. Outside of that, though, I like Tampa Bay across the board. And if they're going to find their run game, this will be where they find it, I think, potentially. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay -6 at home.
Yeah, it's just pretty much simple. Tampa Bay, they're hot right now. They just beat us to, Tampa Bay.
Okay. We can forget about that.
I kind of want to pick the Broncos just to be different, but I don't have a reason to, so I gotta take Tampa Bay as well. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin have been getting it done.
All right, we'll move on. Last game of the 1 o'clock one. I'm going to be called a hater, but that's cool, man. I am a hater. I'm taking the Titans in this one. You know what, though? The 3-point spread is scary. I don't know why Tennessee's getting points. To be honest, I think Green Bay should be favored. If I was betting on that, I'd favor Green Bay in this one. Sounds like Malik's going to play, but I'd still favor this team just because Tennessee is just like, here, we're going to give teams a game. And Green Bay has had a lot of takeaways in the back end, so they may do it as well in this one. I just think Tennessee's a better team than what we've seen so far. And I don't think that they were awful last week. It's just like Levis kind of gave them the football game. I think the Titans, it's crazy to say if they don't do that, but I think at some point you don't do that. Like the luck kind of gets on your side and they don't give the game away. I'll go Tennessee here, but you know what? I'm not liking the spread. I'm actually going to take Green Bay with the 3 points. I think they could keep this like a 1-point game. I think the Titans still win this football game. So I'll go Green Bay on the betting aspect against the spread. What do you got, King?
I 100% in line with what you just said. Green Bay loses this game. I don't care who they're playing.
better
They
lose.
play a high school team. I'm gonna say that Green Bay is gonna lose this game.
That's fair.
Will Levis, just don't be as bad as you've been, man. Like, don't blow this game for your team like you've been doing. Just go out there and just be a respectable quarterback and win this game.
Gotcha. All right, where you at?
I'm gonna go Titans. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I think the Titans can cover this. I think we're gonna be okay. Brian Callahan, him and Will had a little conversation during last week's game. They're gonna figure it out.
Little convo. That's good. I wonder what they were talking about. We don't know though. That's the thing. We don't know.
Hey, buddy, don't throw the ball like that. That's bad. I think is what he said.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, if that's the combo, I probably should have took Tennessee. Carolina Raiders. Bro, I'm going to be honest. I think this is the trap game. I already had taken the Raiders to win this one, but I think if there's an upset, this is not a bad one to look at here with Andy Dalton playing. Again, I like the weapons they have, and I just feel like, again, after what the Raiders did, there might be too many people hype on the Raiders. I like the front seven. That was a little bit predictable because it's a shaky O-line with Baltimore, but because now we have the spreads here, I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers to cover 5.5, keep this thing close. I don't know that they win it, and I don't know I get to that point yet, but I think they'll keep this thing close. I'm going to go Carolina. What do you think, King?
I'm going with the Raiders. Definitely going with the Raiders. Max Crosby's going to have 875 sacks today. Going with the Raiders.
Makes sense.
I'm going with Raiders as well. Max Crosby is a beast. Devontae Adams, Gardner Minshew's okay. Although next week I would take the Carolina Panthers because they're playing the Bengals and Andy Dalton becomes a god against the Bengals randomly. So just a heads up.
Okay, but watch this. We'll watch this, right? As a guy that follows the Colts, would you rather have Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson for this game? Or not for this game, but I'm just saying right now for the Colts, like this week, would you rather have Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson based on what you've seen?
Right now?
For 1 week, who would you rather have?
Anthony Richardson or Gardner Minshew, excuse me. Because now Anthony Richardson cannot control his arm.
I just want to give Minshew a little love. You know what I'm saying? I got a little love for Minshew. So you just had to throw that in there. Okay, let's move on then. We have Miami, Seattle. The fact that this is 4 points is kind of scary. I think if you're a Seattle fan, their defense has been great, but is this the fact that they're looking at it saying like, hey, Tua's actually not maybe that, like we can throw in Skylar and he's still going to make that work because of their weapons that they do have? Or is it, hey, we don't trust Seattle to put up points and that Miami defense is not terrible? I'm going to take Miami here plus the 4 points. I think that, or not Miami, I'm sorry. I'm going to take Seattle in this one, minus 4 points. I think they'll be fine covering that spread. I like Seattle. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I'll take Seahawks.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Seahawks. Skylar Thompson couldn't create anything last week. I know he got thrown in, but he couldn't even complete a screen pass. So,
hey, well, this is the concern though, because I mean, I got Achane. He's going to cook. I still think Seattle though offensively. Like if I took this matchup, I do like the secondary a little bit for. I do like the secondary a little bit for Miami, but I still love the weapons that Seattle has. And Geno was really good last week. He was awesome against the blitz. He was really 33 of 44. So I'm gonna ride Seattle on that one. Okay, here we go. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's do it. We're not gonna skip over it. We got our picks at the end here. But Lions Cardinals. Lions -3. Man, this again is a really tight one after what they saw last week. I think the Lions win this game by 2 scores. That's kind of where I'm at with it before we get to the picks. We'll see if that happens, and that's not out of disrespect for Arizona. I think Arizona's a playoff team, especially now after the injuries, and I think as they continue to play defenses that aren't great in the NFL, they're going to give those teams a ton of problems. I think they're a good football team, and I think they've kind of outseeded expectations so far defensively, but I think we can win this one by 2 scores. So I'll go to Lions -3. Where you at, King?
Yeah, I'm going to go the same. I think the Lions win this game, probably about 10-point game or something like that. So I agree.
Okay.
I think this game might be closer than what you're giving credit for. I mean, Kyler Murray, he's been on a tear lately. I'm going to take the Cardinals plus the 3. I love the Lions. You guys know I love the Lions. I just think the Cardinals can cover that. Maybe a little.
Hold up. Are you taking the Cardinals to win this one?
With the +3.
Okay, but you're not taking them to win though. You think the Lions will win?
I think the Lions should win this.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't want that bad of a start, with you on this channel, so I just wanted to.
Don't kick me out. No, I'm a huge.
Yeah, that's. It's like let him redeem himself here. I want to make sure.
One pride.
All right, we got Baltimore Colts. This is a fun one. Baltimore, like, there's a lot of games this week where it's like, yo, that 0-2 team, we know they got to win it, but I don't think that they will, man. I think Dallas gets smoked in this one, or at New Orleans. I think they bounce back this week. I still like Dallas's offense. Even last week, I still think there was good to take away, but also defensively, their biggest issue is stopping the run. I think on paper, people want to think Baltimore can run all over them. I get it. They have Henry. I don't trust Daniel Falalele's 7'10" body at right guard. So because of that, I'm going to take Dallas to win this game. It's basically a pick 'em. So I'll take Dallas. They're getting a point too. What do you got, King?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Dallas too, man. I hope they get smoked. I can't stand everything about Dallas from the ownership down to the last fan.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, you could have took the other team, but I get it. You're trying to win here, so I get it. All right, Josh, what do you got?
I hate the Ravens and everything about the Ravens, and that absolutely has no effect on the fact that I still think the Dallas Cowboys will win this game because the Baltimore Ravens offensive line is awful. Lamar is going to be running for his life with Micah Parsons chasing him like a dog chasing a cat.
Ooh, okay.
Go boy.
That was I like the picture you created there. That was beautiful. San Francisco, LA Rams. Hey, look, man, the fact that this is 6.5 is kind of wild, but I can get it with the injuries that we got from San Fran. Like, this is one of those other ones where I'm like, I feel like I should have took the upset when I made this pick. Like, if I was going to take a swing somewhere, maybe this is the spot that I should have do it. But I thought for sure, I was like, oh, LA's winning. I don't care about the end. LA's beating Arizona. And then Arizona's like, you're crazy. We're about to beat them by 30 points. I like San Francisco to win this one. I'm not liking the 6.5, though. I know San Francisco's owned this rivalry. Not liking the 6.5. So because of the points, I'm going to take the Rams to keep this thing within 6.5 points. What do you got, King?
I'm going San Fran. Hey, it is.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, when you look, what's available over there with the Rams right now is what I'm looking at.
Nothing.
Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you have to take San Fran because, I mean, yes, Christian McCaffrey's out. Yes, Debo's injured, but you could put me behind that offensive line and I would get some yards right now. And the Rams have no one. Their whole offensive line is injured. Cup's out. Puka's out. I don't know, Dion. I think you're being brave even with that 6.5 taking them. So I'm going San Fran.
Yeah, no, I think I am too. I mean, like, I'm with you guys. I think San Fran wins, and this, I feel like if San Francisco looks at what the Packers did, they could do the exact same thing. San Francisco could just not throw the ball in this one and find a way to win. I think that's very possible. They could just run like crazy over LA in this one, and then the flip side isn't great either on the offensive line. All right, Kansas City. We're getting to prime time here. We got Kansas City at Atlanta. I think a lot of people like Atlanta this week. I think Atlanta's a good team, but I think Atlanta got their win. They're going to come back to earth here. I think Kansas City wins this one. I know the spread is shaky, but I'm still going to take Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins this one by 2 scores. I like Atlanta. I do, but I think Kansas City's they're getting a little overlooked just because of what Atlanta did last week. So I'm going to take Kansas City to cover the 3. What do you think, Ken?
I second that. I take it exactly the same way that you have it.
Okay.
I will never bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Just because they got the Taylor Swift factor. Atlanta, they're great on paper, but they up until the final 2 minutes of that Falcons game against the Eagles, Kirk didn't look great, but until Kirko Chains came out and got them the win. But yeah, Chiefs got this.
He did work.
Come on, Travis Kelce. I got Travis Kelce in my fantasy. He's been killing me. I need you to do something today.
I'm sorry. He got locked down by a 7th round safety last week. So, sorry.
Talking crap. Tell him what that was. Who was that?
Dejon Anthony. Until he got a questionable PI call. But
okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it would have been nice to see the Bengals win that one. It would have been real nice to see them win that game. It is what it is, man. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I was rooting for you. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you took the Lions, so I wanted to put that out there. All right, we got 2 Monday night games. Wait, why? Okay, can anybody explain why they have 2 Monday night games this week? I don't understand.
Because they hate the Bengals.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that's true. Because maybe that's what it was. They saw the Bengals game. They're like, you know what? Let's get a second one in here. They're playing the Commanders. Let's put a second one in here. But we'll start with Jacksonville first. Jacksonville, Buffalo, 5.5 points. Jacksonville has been atrocious on offense. Trevor Lawrence will tell you they've been atrocious. I actually like their defense still a little bit, but I think Buffalo's scary, man. I think they have a real good identity right now, and Keon's basically done nothing to this point. They haven't even opened that up yet. So I'm going to go Buffalo to cover the 5.5. What do you think, King?
Yeah, definitely going Buffalo. They're better. Josh Allen's my starting quarterback.
Oh boy,
I need that
Man,
to happen. And I just want to say something real quick, man. I take that back for that Tennessee game. No, I went with Tennessee, so I had it right. But revenge game,
Yeah,
I forgot all about that with Willis. So I think it's gonna be fun today. Let's see what he.
Wait. So hold up. Let's go. I just want to get the pick right here. So Green Bay, Tennessee. You have who's against the spread here? What do you like?
I'm gonna go
3 points.
Tennessee.
Tennessee to cover the 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's riding with me.
Okay.
He's switched sides.
Yeah,
I
switch
think,
side. Yeah,
he did switch
So,
sides.
yeah.
That's okay. I'll take that one, man. I need a couple on my own here, so because I hate that but I'm doing it with Green Bay. That's ugly. All right, Josh, what do you think, man? Jacksonville, Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville, I think I read a stat. They're 0-7 in Trevor Lawrence's last 7 starts. So I'm just going to assume they tank again against Buffalo. And Buffalo takes this even with is that 5.5 there? It looks like. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
5.5. Yeah, Ed just gave us some terrible news that we also have 2 Monday night games when we play. Great. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of wild. I don't know what dude. NFL, put one of these on Friday. Everybody wants it.
No, that's high school.
It's okay. Everybody wants it.
Put it on
Hey, look,
Tuesday.
I'm with you. I got to be at a high school game too, and I still want the game to be on Friday. You know what? You're
Put it
right.
on a
Tuesday would be
Tuesday.
beautiful.
I ain't doing
Tuesday would
anything
be
on
beautiful.
Tuesday.
That's true. Put it on Tuesday. Just put it on the day that we don't have football right now.
Tuesday
agree.
night football.
Tuesday night football would be kind of fire. You know what I was thinking last night too? I understand Saturday's college, but Saturday's week was so terrible for game. Shout out to Michigan though, they handle business. Saturday's week though for college slate was so terrible outside of I think that Michigan game that I was sitting there thinking to myself like, bro, we should just put a game on Saturday night. Like I'm cool with the overlap in college. Put a Saturday night football game on. I wouldn't hate it. College would. I wouldn't.
You weren't enjoying the Ohio State versus Marshall game? I'm shocked.
You know that one I did enjoy. You're right. I'm glad you brought that up. No, that was dude. It was horrible last week, man. The hype is always like, ooh, Colorado though. Let's watch Colorado. That's the night game. Like, bro, I don't want to see Colorado play football, man. I'm just being. I get there's hype for a little bit, but then it gets to a point where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean?
Future number 1 overall pick, Shooter Sanders.
Shooters. Wait, King enjoys it. King's a King likes the buzz.
not the Colorado game. I was gonna say I enjoyed the Michigan State game.
Did Michigan State win? I didn't even watch the end of that
They
one.
did. They did that all. Little brother.
Oh.
Did you enjoy it because they lost?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. No, that's good. Hey, chat. Look, man, you guys. I thought they were gonna. I like Boston College going in, but then seeing them up at 7.5, I was like, oh snap! Michigan State might handle business here. They need to lose one though because they couldn't be 4-0. Like at some point they had to drop one, so that's good. Okay, finally, Washington Bengals. This was. You know what? Here's the crazy thing about this. No, this is bad timing. I'm just gonna be honest. This was terrible because this is not on purpose. Okay, Josh, I want to make that clear. This is not on purpose. I took the Commanders to win this one. Hey, this ain't even a spread thing. I think Commanders win this football game but you tell me why I'm wrong. Here's why I'm gonna say I took them. They took 7 field goals, right? Austin Seibert did work last week. Shout out to Austin Seibert. I still like the running game. I don't trust Cincinnati's run game. Here's my big concern, of course, is T. Higgins is playing. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think T's going to play. And the secondary for Washington is still terrible. I just think if there's a big upset, it's the biggest one. I'm going to take Washington in this one. King, what do you think?
I would go Cincinnati, man. I would love to go where you just win, but I'm going with Cincinnati, man.
All right, Josh, tell me why I'm wrong. I'm way off on this one.
Now, first of all, our run defense is atrocious. Let's get that out of the way. Everyone knows that. There's no hiding that. We think we don't need a nose tackle. We need one. If you guys want to trade your nose tackle back to us, would love that. But
think about it. We'll think of it. Nah, I think we thought about it. It's not going to happen. You know, it real quick on that point, because you guys brought in a guy that can get after the quarterback a little bit. What have you felt about their pass rush to this point? Because I know Trey, like Hendrickson's the dog. Outside of that, though, I don't think I've been like super impressed with the pass rush. Like, where are you at with them? At least, are they getting that side of it? If they're not stopping the run, are they getting pass rush?
They're not the pass rush, but the secondary is currently, I believe, ranked first in the NFL. Cam Taylor-Britt is the top CB in the NFL, I believe, and he got that one-hand pick against Mahomes.
That was nasty.
Well. They picked off Mahomes twice last week, 3 times. One didn't count because of penalty. Trey has had 2 left tackles benched in consecutive weeks now because they keep holding him.
That's a nasty way to put it.
So Trey is Chiefs are starting a completely new guy this week after Trey
they started a young guy?
Demoralized a man.
Okay.
So Trey has been the whole pass rush, but he's been getting it done.
Okay.
And again, you just mentioned T. Higgins is coming back. You're telling me we got T out there? We got Jamar out there? Bengals outplayed the Chiefs last week. We just had a little Jamar Chase. He had another one of those conversations with a ref where he was like, hey, I didn't like that. Why'd you do that? And got a flag thrown on him. So that's not going to happen this week.
Yeah.
The Bengals have got this. Jaden Daniels is a rookie quarterback. He's going to be dealing with Trey Hendrickson. By the end of this game, he's going to be closing his eyelids, and Trey Hendrickson is going to be in his dreams, in his nightmares. So I don't know what you're doing picking the Commanders. You mentioned Austin Seibert out there getting work against the Giants.
Well, it still work. Hey, work is work. You know what I mean? That was my pushback. When I said Washington, and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, they won last week. And they're like, hold up. They beat the Giants. Win's a win. Look, here's the thing, Josh. I like good football. I can appreciate that they like to keep the game close. You know what I'm saying? So them taking 7 field goals, I think was them just being like, hey, let's make this game interesting. It's going to be horrible. Let's at least make it close. We'll take 7 field goals. I don't know that that's the case this week.
In the words of Cam Taylor-Britt, it's a college offense they're running there in Washington with Cliff Kingsbury.
Yo, that's great. He did say that. Yeah.
Got an update, fellas.
Okay, here we go.
Mr. Herbert is active.
Okay, I feel good about that one. I feel good. We can't go back and change. I don't know if anybody. Yeah, you guys both took Pittsburgh. We're not changing that. In the case you wanted to, you guys can't change.
I still feel good with Pittsburgh.
Okay, King, you still feel good with Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm still Pittsburgh though.
All right. Well, those are the picks, man. I marked them all down. I don't think I did anything wrong here, but if I did, and as long as it goes in my favor, that's cool. But I marked them all down. Shout out to my man Josh for coming in for the No Buts About It podcast, man. But it's also on YouTube. Like I said, the YouTube link is in the description. Hey, I appreciate you joining, man. This was a good set. I wanted to add this little segment to the mix, and I'd love to have you going forward as well if you want to come back for more of these.
I had fun. I'll have more fun when I'm right. But
yeah. I was gonna say, it doesn't look like you had a lot of fun. I mean, the energy there was not there. You know, I'm just being honest. There was not a lot of good energy at the end there. Did you have fun or did you not have fun? If you didn't have fun, you didn't have fun. It is what it is.
I'm a little mad at you. You picked the Commanders. I don't know.
You know, that is fair. That is fair.
I'm with King over here. Like, I want to go on his show now. I mean, this guy, he's with me.
Actually, I forgot I did that. Yeah, you know. I hate to do it. But I kind of forgot. We just did it, but I just forgot. Look, here's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. It was bad timing. I got to be honest, man. I took Washington to the win, so I can't flip it for this game. But this was not the week to bring you on. I'm going to be honest. I should have waited till next week. I should have done it. But anyways, we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong on that one. Man, I appreciate you joining. I want to get you out of here. That way you have your time to do what you got to do. Because I know you got more content that you're working on over there. Check out my man. That channel's rolling a little bit. We're getting some good momentum going over there. Let's keep that rolling.
Yeah, let's keep that up. I like it when it's rolling. I like when the numbers go up and not down. So let's keep them going up.
That. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna put you on a spot because you're here. We're not in the show right now, but you got to give me some words of wisdom on the way out.
Some words of wisdom about what?
For the people. People need it. It's words of wisdom.
Be 1% better than you were yesterday. Today.
Okay, see that he had that plan, chat. He had that sign. He has that sign somewhere in that room. He just looked over, was like, "Oh, that's good." It was good. But I feel like that was you read that off of something. But that's fine. We'll give you the pass. Appreciate you joining, man.
Okay.
Hopefully I see you again next week, man. That's the hope. All right, man.
Hope so too. See ya.
All right.
Yo, what, man? What?
I didn't know if he was gonna leave or not. So because he was just sitting there, I'm like, I'm gonna make this awkward and not say anything. I thought at some point he was gonna say something, then he left. I feel bad.
Why everybody freeze? Like, what happened? like
He looks so. He's like, bro, what is happening? No, that was pretty hilarious. Okay, okay, King, you're here though. I don't think the link I tried to send to Banks ended up working. He said he's backstage. Oh. No, he is not. Oh no, Josh is still backstage. Josh, I'm sorry for the awkwardness there. I thought that was hilarious. I got to be honest.
No, you said bye, so I was like, he's gonna remove me, and then you didn't remove me, so I removed myself.
Yo, hey, King thought it froze, bro. That was good. No, that was pretty awesome. That was awesome.
You're in charge of this.
I don't know. Yeah, you know what?
Do your job, Dion.
That's true. That is true. For whatever reason, I thought he was just going to dip out. You know what I mean? And then he did it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this awkward until he does. I'm just not going to move. And it was kind of awkward, you know? So I'm glad we had that moment. All right, I'm going to do my job. Appreciate you joining, man.
All right, Josh.
Are you gonna do it this time?
Okay, you're out. Okay. Okay, now we're good. All right, shout out to Josh, man. Click that link if you want to check out his stuff. He does all NFL stuff, but as he said, he's a Bengals fan and a Colts fan, I guess, a little bit too. I think that's because that's where he lives, so that makes sense. I also got some Colts gear over here too, so I rock with the Colts in the background, King. I'm not gonna lie. King, do you have any? Like, I don't have a second team. I've never had a second team. I always thought that was crazy, but I do have some love for the Colts. You know, a little bit now. Being over there a couple last season, doing some work for them, so have some love for the Colts. Do you have any kind of second team in the NFL?
Yeah, I've always had a second team, and God, it's gonna hurt to say this. Good Lord.
Uh-oh.
It's the 49ers. When I was little, hear me out. When I was little,
it's okay. Just bad now. Yeah.
Just getting into playing football, I had two favorite receivers. One was Herman Moore. The other one was Jerry Rice. I want to be like both. I used to have the San Francisco starter jackets and everything. That's way, way before, you was born probably. But yeah, I was 49ers fan growing up too.
So do you feel like right now, right, if we were to go outside and play a little catch, you'd have a little Jerry Rice in you? I would see it.
Sure. My hands never left. I might be a big guy now, but my hands never left.
That's what I like to hear. See, we got to make something in real life happen at some point. Anyways, so King, the last segment that we had, I don't know why it didn't work with Banks. We'll have to get that figured out. I don't want to try to make that all weird while we're doing this live. We'll figure that out for next time. I'll get him on next week. Next week is home. Okay, we'll get him on the next road game. We'll make that happen. But this is the final segment, chat. We want to transition. I appreciate y'all rocking with us for that BetUS segment. Again, you can utilize promo code YouTube150. King knows what it's about to give some shout outs to BetUS. So, final segment, chat. I need you to spam it up. Give us your score predictions. What is your score prediction for today's game, King?
Oh, God. Holy.
You know what? You want me to give my first?
31-21.
Okay. You were trying to make it line up with the 10 points that you said earlier. I feel like that's what was going on in your head. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what's weird? Mine's not going to line up with what I said earlier. I said we could win by double digits, and then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, my score prediction is not that, so I don't know why I said that. I had 24-17 Lions, but I felt good about going 31-17. I was like, I'd feel good about going there. Here's my issue with my prediction. I think I'm underestimating the Arizona Cardinals. I like their offense. I just don't feel like I'm giving up enough points. But I think this is one of those weird games, Kings. I think we try to control possession. I think we're, like you said earlier, hey, got to be more efficient in the red zone. So I think that's what it's going to look like. And I think because of that, because how much we're going to be able to run the football in this one, and because we're on the road, we're going to try to shorten this game. I think this will be a shorter football game in the Lions' perspective if it goes as planned. And because of that, maybe the one turnover is the difference. So I'll take the Lions 24-17 this one. Sounds like you were saying Josh Butts was right and I should have listened to him about the card. That's not what I'm saying. But I appreciate the input. You know what I mean? We got a 31-20 in the chat. We got a 24-23 in the chat. King, I appreciate you joining, man. This was a good show. This was a lot of fun. Hey, you stuck around the whole time. I didn't know that you would, but you did. And I'm glad that you did, man. This made it fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Every time I get a chance to come on with you, man, it's a blast. So, yeah.
Hey, so I kind of want to put you on a spot for words of wisdom as well, but I don't feel like I should because we already had one. So I'm not going to this week. I'm not going to. Unless you got something, I'm not going to, man. I just appreciate you joining. And, we're getting close to the 1 o'clock window here, about an hour out. And hopefully next time we can get Michael Banks on chat. I thought we would this week. That was just weird. We'll figure that out, though. We'll make that work in the back end, and we'll get him ready for next week. King, if you want to join again next week, man, the invite's always open. And again, check out Everything King's channel. Like I said, that link is it's weird. I did the @ thing. Did you get like a notification when I put the @ in your in the description?
No.
Okay. I didn't know how that worked, because I think when you do it on the community tab, if you put someone's @ they're like, oh, they'll be notified. I guess they didn't notify because I put in the description, but it's there. You can just click on it. There is our words of wisdom on the way out. Be 1% better today than you were yesterday. He's reading that off a sign. But anyways, appreciate y'all joining, man. I'll see you over. We're gonna be live over here at 1 for the game, and we'll do some post game stuff with hopefully Rad. That's kind of the goal. But yeah, man, we got to get King on more often, man. Appreciate you joining, and we'll see you guys soon for something. I don't know, for something. Okay. Oh wait, hold up. I don't want to end this yet. I completely forgot. I don't know why I forgot, but I did. The inactive should be out. You want to take a peek at those before we get out of here? Oh, wait, hold up. Maybe they're not going to be out because they start at 4. Never mind. I lied. This is why I forgot. They start at 4. Right. That's why I didn't do it. Okay, so we'll have the inactives later. Hopefully Alex Anzalone is not on those. Okay, let's get out of here. We out, chat. And we'll see you guys at 4 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. I don't know what I said 1. 4 o'clock for today's game. We out.